Hello friends, and welcome back to another video from Homemaker. In our today's video we are going to talk about Ficus elastica, also known as rubber plant. Ficus elastica is a popular ornamental plant from Ficus genus. This plant will be an excellent choice for you if you are looking for an indoor plant that is tree-type plant with attractive foliage, and this plant can grow from 1 feet to over 10 to 15 feet tall. They are originally from India, China, Myanmar, Malaysia, and all those Asian countries. And there are a number of Ficus elastica varieties that are grown indoors, but in front of me here you can see 3 types, or maybe I'll show you 4 types of Ficus elastica. So this one here, the first one, is my favorite one and my first Ficus elastica. This is called Ficus elastica burgundy or black prince. This one is Ficus elastica ruby, and this one is Ficus elastica teneki variegata. And here, this little guy, so cute, and one of my favorite, this one is Ficus elastica Sophie. And as you can see, and the name suggests, the Ficus elastica black prince or Ficus elastica burgundy is because of the beautiful foliage, the color of the foliage, the color of the leaves of this plant. It's the plant has got very dark, glossy, bright leaves with a beautiful pink midrib, and same at the back. They look so cute. They're very dark green color, and when they grow older, they give you that dark burgundy color, and they look so cute, so beautiful. One of my favorite plants. I love their brightness and their glossy look. And this one, Ficus elastica ruby, as the name suggests, this has got pink, the tinge of pink and purple color. With these beautiful leaves on top of. When they're small, they've got this they look same like Ficus elastica teneki. They look like teneki only with these cream borders, but when they grow bigger, the leaves mature, then they give that pink color, give out the pink color, as you can see on the leaves in front as well as at the back side as well. And this is a very new leaf that has opened up just today. One more I'll show you. This this one here, one more leaf. This has opened up today. They look so beautiful. And this one is Ficus elastica teneki, and this has completely different color. It has got the cream border with the mix of 2 different shades of green. Looks like an army khaki color, army green, army khaki. So cute. And this one, Ficus elastica Sophie, it has got bright green leaves. When this is really small at the moment, but when it'll grow big, it'll have these types of broad leaves and dark greenish color, like this glossy green. You can see how shiny it is. It looks so cute, so beautiful. Now, we'll start talking about the care of these beautiful plants. So they are very, very easy to care for plants. We'll start with the lighting conditions. So these plants, they love bright indirect sunlight. Bright indirect sunlight means that you might need to keep them somewhere where there is the light comes indirectly and not the direct one. Especially with the teneki one, you might need to keep it in a little bit of shady place, but still there should be enough lighting for this plant, because of the color of this plant, it's more susceptible to get the sunburn. Whereas the burgundy and the ruby, you can give these plants a little bit of a morning or evening sunlight, direct sunlight. They don't mind being in direct sunlight in the morning and the evening, but not the afternoon sun, not afternoon direct sun. It's a big no-no. Whereas the Sophie, this one also can will be happy to receive the direct sun only the morning and evening, not in the afternoon at all, but they love to be in light. They're light loving plants. Next is the temperatures. These plants love to be in an average temperature of 15 to 24 degrees Celsius. They generally get affected with the sudden change of temperature, like if you have kept your plant next to the window or the door, which is frequently opening and closing, and they experience a lot of cold drafts, then it affects the growth of the plant, it affects the leaves of the plant. I love that beautiful sound of the birds, if you can hear it. It's so nice. Lovely. Okay. Yeah, so I was talking about the temperature. Yeah, so they don't like that sudden shift of temperature from hot to cold or cold to hot. They like to be in a warm, humid spot. Now we'll talk about the water. So you might need to water your plant whenever the soil dries out. The easy way to check your soil is put your finger into the soil up till a knuckle and bring it back and see. You can feel that moistness in the soil, and if your soil is also sticking to the finger, that means your soil is nice and wet. You can wait for a couple of more days for it to dry out, and then you water your plant. I watered these two just yesterday, so I don't need to water them today. But do not overwater these plants, because overwatering is the _1 killer. And if you overwater them, the roots might get root rot and your plant might die. So don't overwater your plant. Water them only when you feel that the soil is dry. Also, when you're watering, make sure that your pot has got enough of the drainage holes underneath so that the excess of water can seep through easily, and your water should not sit in the pot, because these plants don't like wet feet. Talking about the soil and the water, they like to be in a well-drained soil, well-aerated soil. So an equal proportion of cocoa peat and worm castings or compost and a little bit of perlite or coarse sand is the right soil mix for these plants. Is the correct soil mixture for these plants. And when you have to repot your plant, make sure that you repot only in spring season, or whenever you feel that your plant roots are becoming root bound. The easy way to see is that the roots will start coming out from these drainage holes. You can see the roots, and when you see the roots piling up from underneath the drainage holes, or they're coming out from the drainage holes, then you might need to repot your plant. Always take one size bigger from this pot size. Don't take a very big pot, because your plant will otherwise struggle to adjust to that big pot, and it will affect the growth of your plant. So just take one size bigger, and that should be enough. And your plant will adjust quickly, and it will not affect the growth of your plant. Also, I would suggest you to change the soil or repot your plant once in every year. This will help to keep your plant growing and healthy, because the change of soil will bring more nutrition and all that stuff. Talking about nutrition, I would say that always feed your plant with the diluted liquid fertilizer or a seaweed solution. For seaweed solution, I use the seaweed solution. I use this seaweed solution. I use 3 ml of seaweed solution, 1 liter of water, and I water all my house plants with them, and my plants do really well with it. Before you fertilize your plant, always make sure you water them first, just to avoid any burning. Like if your plant gets the leaves get burnt with the fertilizer, just water your plant before you fertilize it, and then afterwards you fertilize it a little bit with the seaweed solution, or if you have got any liquid fertilizer, dilute it and water them. You can also add some compost and other nutrition, because when your plant is in a smaller pot, the plant is keep on taking all that nutrition from the soil, and the soil, it gets deprived of all those nutrients. So to top up that soil with the extra nutrients, it's very, very important that you fertilize it. So do it once in every month, just once in every month, but don't do it in maybe winters, because the plant goes dormant, they're not really growing, so maybe just avoid doing it in winter season. Spring and summer should be fine for fertilizing. Next is humidity. The normal room humidity is just fine for these plants, but if you still think that you want to improve the humidity and the place where you live is really dry, the air is dry, especially in summers, then you can mist the leaves of your plant with water, and that should be enough to provide humidity to your plant. Another tip in taking care of these plants is always make sure that the leaves of these plants are clean. You can use a damp cloth to just wipe off the leaves, because you can see that the leaves are really broad. They're broad leaves, and if there is any dust on the leaves, you can see it clearly, and it looks really ugly if the dust is sitting on the leaves. So if you want your plant to show all these beautiful glossy look, then keep your leaves wiped off maybe once in a week, or whenever you think that the dust is sitting on them, just with a damp cloth wipe them off, and you'll get all that beautiful glossy look back in your plant. Now next we'll talk about propagation. So these plants are very, very easy to propagate. They can be propagated through the leaf, or they can be propagated through the stem. So with the leaf, what you can do, just take the leaf off from the base over here, take the leaf off and pop it in water. As I tell you all in all my videos, that I always prefer going with the water propagation rather than soil propagation, because in water you can see what is actually going on with the cutting, whether the roots are developing or the roots are not developing. You can see in water, but whereas in soil you cannot see what's happening with your cutting. So I would always prefer going with the water propagation, but if you would like to go with the soil one, please go for it. And with the stem cutting, you take the cutting from between the two leaf nodes. So this is one leaf node here, line you can see, and the other one is here. So you take the cutting from the middle over here, and when you take the cutting, whether it's a leaf or it's a stem, you can see the white milky liquid, the sap coming out of it. So that sap is actually used to make rubber, latex. That's latex, and it's used to make rubber, the industrial rubber. That's why these plants are called rubber plants. So what you do is you take the cutting, and when you see the sap coming out, you wipe off the sap and dip your cutting into the water. I'll show you one of my salt water propagation that I've done here. So this is a cutting that I took from the burgundy leaf, and you can see a lot of roots have come up. You can see the lots of roots have developed, and there is an all new leaf, this new glossy leaf. You can see this one that just opened up yesterday, and the roots have developed. Same with this Taneki leaf cutting, this one as well, and the leaf is going to open up soon from that bud. This is the Taneki leaf cutting that I took. So with the water propagation here, you can see the roots developing, and you might, once you take the cutting, maybe in a month, you can see it will take around 3 to 4 weeks for these roots to develop. Always do the propagation in spring season rather than in winter or in any other weather. The spring season, it works really quick. So this is how propagation works, and once the roots have developed nice and big, then you can pop them in soil, and the same soil mixture that I told you before, equal amount of peat and compost and a little bit of perlite or coarse sand, the same composition you can add in for your propagation. So there are some problems that you can see with this plant. One problem is the loss of leaf. You can see that if the leaves are falling over, the lower leaves are falling over, that means either you're overwatering your plant, or because of the cold temperature, your plant is struggling to survive, or if you're not providing your plant with enough lighting, then you might see the leaf falling over your plant. Also, you can see that the leaf edges are turning yellow. That happens when your soil condition is very poor. You are underfeeding your plant. The soil is lacking the nutrition. Then the leaf endings might turn yellow. And also if you are overwatering your plant. The last problem that you can see is that these plants are very much susceptible to get mealybugs infestation, scales they can get, spider mites they can get. So the easy solution for these plants is this shampoo solution. Either you can take 1 ml of dishwash, or you can dishwash liquid, or 1 ml of shampoo, mix it up in a liter of water and spray the leaves and the stem of your plant, the top part and the bottom of your leaves. Spray it. Usually spray it during the evening time, like the night time, and then wash your plant off, the leaves off in the morning, and you can see that you can get rid of all those pests. So pruning. The last thing is pruning. So if you feel that your plant is just growing tall and it's not looking very bushier, it's not looking fuller, then what you can do is you prune your plant from the top. So when you cut it from the top, it will initiate the side growth. And the side growth will make your plant look more fuller. You'll get more leaves, more bigger leaves, and your plant will look more bushier and beautiful in your indoor space. Like this one has got 3-4 stems, but also it has like this one looking bushier. So one last thing that I would like to tell you is that because of the sap that comes out of these plants could be very sensitive. People might be sensitive to the sap because it's rubber or latex. Some people might be sensitive to that thing, so they might need to be careful when they're touching or exposing themselves to this plant, or exposing themselves to that milky liquid while propagation or taking care. And also you might need to keep this plant away from your pets and young children if they are in a habit of nibbling on the leaves and stuff like that. So just keep that thing in mind, to keep it away from the reach of children and pets. One more thing that I would like to add in is that this plant, rubber plant, is also considered to be an air purifier. So when you keep them in your indoor space, they absorb all those toxic gases, formaldehyde, xylene, and all those gases that usually are around in our household. They absorb those gases, they purify your indoor air, and they make the air clean. So these are really not only known for their ornamental value, but also they add in to the healthy environment in your house. So these are must-have plants, and they look very beautiful. They clean your air, and I love them. So this was all about the rubber plant. If you have any more information about these plants, you would like to share them, please don't forget to comment or share your ideas, and also check the pinned comments. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time with another exciting video. Thank you. Bye-bye.